and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm finally doing a book review on A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I'm all hopped up on meds, which should make for a very interesting video. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, only instead of beasts, you have a shapeshifter and you have fairies. So this is actually the second time I've read this book. First time I read it was near 2 years ago. I did a buddy read with JM from Book Freak Revelations. I think for those who haven't read this book or the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, first of all, you should. Second, a pro tip. The second time reading this book, I enjoyed it a lot more than the first time I read this book because of one main reason. Do not read the series right after reading a Throne of Glass novel. Do not read them one after the other. They both involve very high fantasy worlds. They involve fairies, yet they're both very different universes, and I personally prefer the Throne of Glass universe. So shifting from the Throne of Glass universe to the ACOTAR universe, it left me very biased, and I didn't like the ACOTAR universe at all the first time I read it. It's also been almost 2 years since I've read a Throne of Glass novel. My mind was very like blank. My mind's always blank. But it was very Sarah J. Maas free when I started reading ACOTAR this time around, and I appreciated it a lot more. This time around reading it, the character is still not my favorite. I think if you just compare Feyre, this novel's main character, to Celaena, Throne of Glass's main character, Celaena will just always win. She'll win out over all the other heroines of novels. I do have a little bit more patience for Feyre now. I think this is something I either also read in somebody else's review or I talked about it with JM while we were buddy reading. I put quote marks because I didn't follow through on my promise to do a review. The part in the end, it could have been a half book. Instead, it's like a 3/4 Beauty and the Beast quarter, completely different that I don't want to spoil. I have to say, a really good addition to my second reading of this book is sort of fan casting the characters. I did have a very solid image in my mind as to who I wanted these characters to look like, and after watching Beauty and the Beast and knowing that this was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, obviously I could imagine Tamlin as none other than Dan Stevens. I've been watching a lot of TV shows lately, and I've been like picking and choosing like, ooh, you look like Feyre, ooh, you look like Lucian, and it's been so fun. Speaking of Tamlin, let's get into that. A while back, I did a review on the Young Elites, and I said that I would never be fully into the Enzo relationship thing because I know too many kids named Enzo, or too many like friends or bros named Enzo, that it wouldn't ever be a love interest name for me. The same thing happened with this book. Now his name is Tamlin. I do not know any Tamlins in my life. I do know Tam. He is the son of one of my mom's best friends, and he's the cutest little 8-year-old. Every time she would be like, I love Tam, he's so handsome. I'm like, no he's not. Tam is a pudgy little cute chubby kid. One of my main complaints with the book the first time I read this was that it was such a solitary book. It takes you from this poor peasant who lives alone with 3 people, and then she gets taken to the Beast's house where, surprise surprise, she lives with just 3 more people. And throughout the book, throughout like 80% of the book, that's how it is. And it's a very lonely book, particularly because you know that it's almost like the author in this book, she's built up this beautiful universe. Look at the candy shop! Have 1 lollipop, and that's it. You can't go inside the candy shop. You can't see what other candies are out there. You're just stuck with this 1 lollipop. Now I know, and I've been told by many people, many people who have yelled at me to read the sequel, that the story changes a lot in the second book, and I have been told, quote marks, it's like it's not even the same series from the first book anymore. So I am excited to read the second book. I see from the reviews of other people, I'm going to be very happy with it. It took me reading this twice to appreciate it, and I'm glad that I read it again. And that about does it for my A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas book review. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys!